Hello. Thought I'd talk a little bit about the former Calgary Public Library Creative Writing Club. It was one of the most successful public groups in the library for about 7 years. It started to grow quite quickly in the last year or so, and then the library essentially shut it down. They stopped mentioning it in their program guide. So the people who used to meet in the library club are now responsible for its advertising if we want to maintain creative independence from the Calgary Public Library and the city. Unfortunately, we don't really have freedom of association and freedom of speech. If we want to meet in the library and be advertised by them, we have to partner with them, which means saying things that the library potentially wants us to say. The library does a lot of things very expensively. I found in one case in the past, I wanted to go to one of their occasions. I saw one of their posters, and I was the only one who showed up because the poster had spent $200 on advertising. They said, "Oh, it was worth it to have you show up for that one event." I thought, well, that's nice, but I'd rather that you spent the money on me and not on the advertising to bring me there. So I and other people have been working to keep together to try to keep the group going. It's one that I found very good because in many cases to get involved in the culture and the convention culture for writing particularly, it involves a lot of what I consider unprofessional behaviors. You have to pay to join a group and then pay to have your stories workshopped or bring in other writers to have them workshopped. Then pay to go to the conventions to meet other people who might publish your stories, which makes it a sort of quasi-vanity publishing, or pay to go to workshops and boot camps to meet the other people and be taught by them because they're the editors of the magazines who might publish your stories. And then there are also systems where you pay for people to vote for you for awards. So there's a lot of what I would consider sacrificial behaviors, which I don't like if you read the other items on my page. So I'm trying to construct sort of a culture that isn't sacrificially based, where people can learn to write and meet other writers. So that's what we're trying to do, at least from my standpoint, with the former public writing group. We're trying to essentially recreate a truly public writing group, and one where you don't have to do things that cut you off from your audience and force you to do a certain type of writing in order to get published. And we still meet informally, generally in some place that you can see in the background. Most of these meetings have been in the central part of the city, but if we get enough people interested in other parts of the city or even in other countries, if you're looking for somebody to network with who likes to write more positive sorts of writing, it's not sacrificially based, that has a lot of potential advantages. I don't have anywhere I can send my material for anthologies anymore because my writing doesn't fit the general mood, the dark mood that a lot of writing has to be these days in order to get put in a package with other people who are in the same basic writing culture. So I'm trying to find other writers who want to do more stories about things being created or coming to life rather than about death and so on. This has been one of the best groups I've found because there's a great diversity of people. Usually fantasy science fiction writing tends to be very much middle class and mostly white, whereas here I get a lot of people who've come from other countries just recently to Calgary. Calgary is becoming more like a port city now, and so it's very cosmopolitan, and what we've usually done is just brainstorm for a while to come up with possible topics, prompt ideas just to get people started thinking about writing, and we spend half an hour writing or so and then half an hour reading out our work to each other. So in the past the group hasn't been a critique group at all, it's just been a writing group, and I would hope eventually cooperative publishing and promotion group. So if something like that appeals to you and you want to meet some other people who want to do something similar, drop me a line. We typically meet 2 or 3 times a month, mostly currently Mondays and Thursdays. So let me know if you're interested. Thanks.